I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Happy Christmas. I know Christmas is a few weeks ahead, but hey, I bring tidings of great joy. And we're here to talk about how to make money or be a blessing to someone with your clutter this Christmas. So, hey, we're in order, right? Thank you so much for coming on board. I know somebody is there thinking, what are we going to be talking about? I don't have clutter in my space. Let's see. Hi, welcome back. So before we begin to talk about how to make money from clutter, I'd like us to identify what clutter is. Because here, like I said, some people are sitting here asking themselves, do I have clutter in my space? What is she talking about? So I'd like to define what clutter is, and then just I have my laptop right here in front of me. I'm going to just list a few things that could be clutter in your space. Okay, so just follow me, all right? So first of all, I'd like to define clutter as anything in your space that does not support a better you. Now take a pause and just think about it. Anything in your space that does not support a better you, that's my definition of clutter. Now, what do you think? What's in your space that doesn't support a better you? What makes a better you? Think about it. Take a few minutes, take a few seconds. Think about it. What could that be? What's hindering my space right now? What's hindering a better me from evolving right now? What's affecting me right now in my space? That could be clutter. Clutter could be arranged. So, I mean, it may not look like clutter. And then it could be disorganized. That you can easily identify. But clutter is beyond the dirty plates in the sink or, one thing lying here that you're working past. It's more than that. It's physical and it's mental. But today we're going to be talking about the physical clutter in your space, right? So I'm going to be taking you through a few. I'm also going to be talking to you about some common habits that could make you keep clutter in your space or could make you generate clutter. Okay, so just follow me as I go over some habits and also make an example of some things in your space that could just be clutter, how they're affecting you before we jump right into the money part and the blessing part. So the first bad habit we're going to be talking about is not putting things back in their place. Now, that's if they have a place. I think that's another habit we're going to talk about later. But it's important that you learn to put things back in their places. So you know how to bring out stuff, scatter, bring everything down from different areas and different places, but you find it difficult to put things back in their place. Now, people could trip over those. They can constitute nuisance and generate clutter in a particular space. So that you want to look out for, that you want to be mindful of, be careful of, because in time to come, as you keep doing that, it just fills the whole place. In fact, that can clearly take you closer to mental clutter disorder, because it could affect your mind now rather than even physically, but it's even affecting you physically and mentally at this point. So if you are not able to put it back in its place, then you can get someone to help you do that, somebody that helps you around the house. So yes, clutter could be generated by not being consistent or careful enough to put things back in the places where they belong. Another bad habit could be that the things in your home do not have a space. It's very important that everything in your home, every item, has its own place. The remote controls have their place, the keys have their place, different things have places that they can call home, just like you have a home. Every item should have a home. When they don't, then they can be disorganized around the place. Another habit could be that you have too much of the same item. Probably you double buy, maybe because things don't have a place and it's difficult for you to find certain things when you're looking for them, so you get to buy another one. So there's too much of one thing in your space, Or maybe you just have other people's items lying in your home, lying in wait for when they return from wherever they went to, your neighbors, your sisters, your brothers, your moms, and stuff like that. So those things could also cause clutter. Um, these are bad habits, right, that could make you acquire a lot of clutter. But let's go further and try to identify exactly what items in your space could be clutter. Like I said, it's beyond the dirty plates in the sink. My definition said it's anything that does not support a better you. Whether it's organized or disorganized, it could not be serving you right. Now, one thing you must also realize is every space within your home have a purpose. The living room is called the living room for a purpose. Every space has its own energy, all right? They all have, okay, different energies. Your living room has an energy that you're supposed to enjoy. The bedroom has its own energy, and they have specific things that should be in those spaces. So it's important for you to know that there's a reason why every space in your room is supposed to serve you right. It's a reason. There's a reason why people say home sweet home. You know that saying, right? Yes. Every single space in your house has got an energy. Every single space. And it's supposed to serve you right. It's supposed to make you feel good. Home, sweet home. Okay? So when things are cluttered up around your home, the energy in that particular space is sucked up. It's affected. It gets distorted. So items that are not supposed to be in that space, when they go into that space, it takes up the energy that is supposed to serve you, and then it could cause you mood swings, headaches, discomfort, and things that you may not even know where the trigger is coming from. That's why it's important to have those spaces free from clutter. Okay, so let's go on and identify what exactly could be clutter in your space right now, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do with them a little later. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be talking about is empty cream and designer perfume bottles. Expensive, yes. So you bought them or they were gifted to you and you want to I can imagine someone laughing right now. You want to cherish it for the rest of your life. So you have it sitting pretty on your dresser and you don't want to do it with it. Sister, it's empty. It's empty. It's empty. Okay, don't mind me. Don't mind Aiba. I know, right? So that could be clutter. It's empty. Yes, it's designer. Yes, I know. I probably don't know how much you bought it, but it's empty. All right, so that's number one. So if you have a lot of those kind of things, and tell you the truth, we've walked in on a lot of those kind of things, that could be clutter. So secondly, other things that we can identify are old clothes and books from years back that you're attached to, your wedding dresses. Oh, I know, like my wedding dress. Your wedding dresses, your first date dress with hubby, and you want your first daughter to wear. I mean, like, something else is going to be trending when she's 18. She's possibly, what, 5 now? So that could be clutter. Now, you may say it's not in the way and all that, but then why do you have it there? So that particular item could result to clutter even in the mind, not just physically. Now, first of all, it could be somewhere where it's just accruing dust if you don't maintain it properly. And it's possible because you don't use it regularly. So you could just decide to leave it there in one box and it's just getting all dusty or something like that. It could affect you physically and mentally. I'll get to talk about that later, but let's go further and look at other things that we could identify in your space as clutter. Toys, accessories you're attached to or your kids are attached to. So these were toys when your kids were what, 2, 3, 4, and your kids are what now, 9, 10, 11. They're still lying in your home in one box because they're not, there's nothing wrong with them. They seem okay, so you don't want to do away with them. So you pack them up somewhere. It's probably in one box, somewhere in one of their rooms, taking up space. That could be clutter. So other things we can identify are your former size clothing and your present size bought wrongly. Some are spoiled, old shoes you have refused to fix or give away. Now let's talk about your former size clothing. So you used to be a size 8 and now you're a size what, 14, and you still have faith without works that you're going to return to a size 8, and you still have them boxed up in like 3 different boxes in your room. Now we are waiting for you to get back to size 14. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be that harsh or that, I'm sorry, insensitive. I'm so sorry. But hey, you're a size 14 now. So we could do something with those items rather than just keeping them. Yes, I know you could say, oh, I have all girls and well, it's good or bad because they can wear my clothes and I can wear their clothes or something like that. But tell yourself the truth. So when we're dealing with clutter, we try to say, tell yourself the truth. If it's not serving you right, it's doing you harm. Okay, it's doing you harm. So let's tell ourselves the truth. Are the girls really up to the age where they can wear them? Are they being amended so that the girls can use them? Or they're just packed up somewhere in your space? And I don't know. So let's tell ourselves the truth, basically. Now, your present clothes bought wrongly, present size rather. So you went to the boutique and you bought a size of clothes and you came back home and it's smaller and you're upset. You know, it's like something I bought the first time I went to Dubai. Okay, so that was not bought wrongly, but I didn't do my calculations right. And so I bought something I thought I was buying for like 2,000 naira. I got back to my room, I realized I bought it for 8,000 naira many years ago. I wore that dress and wore it. I told myself I was going to wear it until the threads fall off. For crying out loud. Who would I be doing? Myself or who? You know, so that happened because of how much I bought it. Now, you want to tell yourself the truth. If you're bigger than it, you want to give it to somebody else. Or if you can return it, beautiful, and get your perfect size. But if not possible, then what can we do with it? And then your old shoes you have refused to fix. There are some shoes you have refused. Now, you refuse to fix them and throw them away because of probably the memories attached to them. Oh, you love this shoe. It was your first this, that. It was from your first salary. It was from this and all that. We have so many memories attached to things, and that could be clutter lying there in your space, or you know, you've just accrued clutter in your space. Now, number 5, I think it's 5, I think I've mentioned 4. Let's talk about these plastic plates. This plastic plates that is it's inside our sink, no, not inside our sink, under the sink, sometimes under the, you know, those cabinets. Why do we have so much? Some of them don't even have cover. Silster. No, let's tell ourselves the truth. Some of them do not even have, they're not closing properly. Some of them are broken. There's so much. Now, they're really good for storage. But like I said, when we're dealing with clutter, you want to tell yourself the truth. There's so much. What's the quantity of soup you're going to cook to have all of them filled up? Why don't you just take a few and let the rest go? So many plastic plates without covers, especially from eateries, and then plastic bags. Sometimes it's number up to 100, up to 150. I mean, they give you every time you go there. So why do you have it? And then even if you do, it can, I mean, we could properly organize it, right? So we'll talk about how we can handle all that. But then having them lying in every part of your kitchen, or, you know, at some place where we could use to organize certain things, could be a problem. Number 6, mugs, teacups, breakable plates, trays that have burial dates and wedding dates all over. I mean, please, why? And we keep collecting souvenirs. We keep collecting. I mean, how would you feel serving a visitor with a cup that has somebody's face on it? Now, there could be exceptions, of course. Yes, there could be. but there are some that do not really make any sense. So why do we have so many of them? And we keep collecting and we just have them full in the cabinet. We're not using them. Or maybe we have plates that even have cracks and we're saving them. So these things you can identify as clutter if you have them in your space. Let's talk about our gift items. So you got married 3 years ago and every one of your gift item is in your kitchen store. Or no, it's in your room, one of the wardrobes in your room. Or maybe in your visitor's toilet. Let's see. Where else? Your boys' quarter. Where else? Your, where else? Now, very great gesture. I mean, if you ask me in these times, I would say let people monetize their gifts so that I could buy what I'd like to use. Seriously, there's some gifts that, oh, baby, great. A car, oh, fantastic, yes. You know, there's some gifts like that. But if it's going to be an item that I'll have to use in my home, I think I would like it if you monetize it so that I could just buy what I would use. Because now you have given me that gift and I have not used it for the past 12 years. So I have been married, personally, I have been married for 12 years now. And then there's a gift in my store that I haven't used for 12 years. Personally, I have a rule. If I don't use it for 6 months or 1 year, then I can do without it. So it means I'm able to breathe, live, be happy for 1 year without accessing that, waiting for the possible year that I will have to access it. It's a misnomer for me. So monetize the gifts or advise the people to monetize the gifts rather than giving. I mean, I just got married and I'm possibly living in this 1 bedroom with my husband and there's nowhere to keep it. There's nowhere, sister. There's nowhere to keep it. So it's better to monetize it. Same thing as buying you gifts if you just gave birth. I mean, when somebody just gives birth, why don't you give the person a gift card rather than buying so many nappies and things like that? Some of them already made a choice on the products, the brand they want to use. So they may end up not using yours. They may end up throwing it away. And when you find out, you will get angry. Well, yes, just like you don't want them to get angry, and that's why you're not throwing it away. But then we could do something about it. That could be clutter. Your store is meant to house your food items. Properly organize your food items, not to keep things that you're not using. Now, let's talk about your decorations, the decorations in your home. So there might just be too many decorations and stuff from excessive shopping and sales, occupying space. That should be left airy. So why do you have too many decorations? I promise you that's why your house is always looking like it's not clean even after Ngozi has swept and swept and swept. For crying out loud, she has cleaned it. She has cleaned it. She cleaned it 3 times. 3 times. Okay, so there might just be too many decorations. You don't have to buy everything. I mean, there's so many beautiful items. You don't have to buy everything at once. Maybe this space is too small to take everything that you would love. You could decide to do something else like, let's see, okay, I could just talk about the solution while we're going on. So you could decide to do something else, redesign yearly if you can afford it. So it's the end of the year, it's getting towards the end of the year. You can decide to change the color of your paints. I mean, your house, change the color of your paint and then take down the old decorations that served you in the past year for something that will serve a better you in the new year. So you could do that and then have variety in your space. It would be so nice rather than buying a new one in this year, bringing it into buying another one next year, and then now it's too much. Now, before she gets sweeping the house, she's breaking things because there are too many. There actually can be too many. So you want to also take note of that. Everything on sale doesn't have to be bought. You will find, I mean, things are going on sale different seasons at different times, different years. So you don't have to get everything into one space at one time. Okay? Sometimes too, you have too many pictures and frames hanging on your walls, you know, without any proper artistic arrangement. It's just one picture here, one picture, and sometimes there's so much. Now, I know you love mom, dad, you know, the community members and all that, and then we have all their photos at home, just like me, right? I love my parents and all that. but I don't have to have all their pictures. You know, you carried the memory from the house and brought all into your own home. And so we have your own pictures, we have your husbands, your kids, we have their grandparents, we have your siblings lying all around. That could be too much. That we can identify as clutter. Okay, so you want to tone down, you want to take it down a bit, and I'll share with you maybe what we can do with those memories, because I know you cherish them. I cherish those memories too, so we could do something about them. Lastly, which is my number 10, your jewelries, your clothing, your clothes, accessories lying around with no space in your home to call home. I already talked about a bad habit of not putting things back in their place or not giving every item a home. Your jewelry should have a home. Your clothes should have a home, so that you don't just leave them lying around. Those things we can identify as clutter. So there's no proper place to keep them. So when I step in, everywhere is filled with stuff. Those could affect you mentally. Now, because that's clutter that you actually make use of. It's just clutter because it's not organized. It's lying everywhere. There's no space for any other thing to happen around there. The best thing to do in that case is to just give it a home. Okay, so if you have any of these things that we have talked about from number 1 to 10 brewing in your space, then yes, you possibly have clutter. Did I mention, maybe I should make it 11, electrical items that are not in use? Your microwave blew 3 weeks ago and you have bought another one, but you don't want to fix this one and you don't want to do away with it. Your blender blew 4 months ago and you still have it because it's Panasonic, or it is, I don't know, something. Your fridge has now become a box of clothes or something. So you don't even want to turn one of the rooms in your house to a clutter store. No, no, no. Have you imagined what that room could do for you? That particular space could just add to a better you. But now it's housing clutter. So let's think about it. So yeah, all this we could identify. So what do we do with all this and how do we solve this problem? Let's dive right into the best part. Okay, welcome back. So we're going to be talking about what we can do with some of the clutter that we identified, right? Now, some of them clearly there's nothing you can do about them. And we're also going to tell you what you can do with the ones that you cannot do anything about. And then we're going to talk about the ones that we can monetize, and then the ones that we can also bless people with. So how do we do this now? First of all, again, I'd like you to know that if you have been able to identify any of these things in your space, it's important that you make a decision, all right? It's difficult, especially when you have memories attached to stuff. Sometimes that is what causes the most clutter. You know, you have memories attached to this thing, but then when you have your space unorganized, you have to know that clutter could slowly kill you. Yes, it could. If it's gathering dust or it's covering up and sucking up the energy in your space that is supposed to serve you right, then it would affect you mentally. It would cause you mood swings. It could even affect your weight. So you could gain weight because your house is cluttered. Yes, it is scientifically proven. You could, right? And then it could cause you lack of creativity, productivity, your general outlook, and you may not even know it's coming from here. You know how they say transferred aggression, right? You could just be transferring aggression from, and even you are not able to tell. Sometimes somebody is in your house is sick, and all the person just needs is fresh air. Why? Because the space is enclosed, so they need air. That's what decluttering does to you. It gives you air. You're able to think. You're able to be creative. It also affects your children. Your children could develop self-esteem issues now because they can't bring their friends over, or their space looks a certain way, and when they go to the other friend's place, they look a certain way, and they begin to desire those things. So you want to be careful because clutter could slowly kill you, either in your mind or even physically. All right, so let's dive right into how we can monetize or be a blessing this Christmas with the clutter in our space. So let's go back to the first identified clutter, which I mentioned as perfume bottles or designer cream bottles. Now, listen. The truth is, for those ones, there's really nothing you can do about those. But here's what something else you could do. So I'd like to tell some of my clients that if you have space in your home and you really love those items, now too much is too much. Tell yourself the truth. Remember what we said? Tell yourself the truth. Too much could be too much. So you want to take some of those bottles if you really cherish them, and let's create an artistic corner in your house. Now, this corner could serve as, what do you call it now? You know how you go to a museum and the people take you around, showing you things and telling you about them? You could have something like that in your home if you have space. Now, if you don't have space, my dear, just let it go. Try and let it go. But if you do, you could have something like that in your home. So when you have visitors, you could just take them and say, oh, come, let me show you some of the things I've been able to acquire. You know, if you're that kind of person. This is a perfume I got at 1990 something. It's such a beautiful whatever. It has such a beautiful smell. And I like to cherish it. And that's why I have it up there. Now, that corner is an artistic corner, only housing things that, you know, have memories attached to them that you don't want to throw away. But it's not scattered. It's organized as an artistic corner. So you could have some of those there, but not too much, because then you begin to generate clutter in that. So let's talk about old clothes and old books that you've accrued over the years, or maybe your children have old toys as well. I think shoes, clothes, toys. Now this we can make money from. Yay, I like this part. Now this is something I have done for maybe 2 years now. So if you live abroad, you know, you'll be familiar with the things, or if you've, I'm sure you've heard or watched some movies that they talk about things like yard sale, yard sale, yard sale. Yes, my sister, we can do yard sale here. Okay, but now I do my own differently. So this is what you can do to make money from those items this coming Christmas. So what I usually do is in the months towards the Christmas month, I get myself and my kids to begin to arrange things that, you know, they don't use anymore, but they're not bad. Right? They could be very expensive. They could be items I bought for, say, 40,000. But in the coming Christmas, because I don't want to throw it away, I love it so much, I'm still thinking, the person I'm going to give this item to, are they going to manage it properly? Will they understand how memorable it is for me, or how, what it was when I bought it? Now, you could make money from it. So if you bought it 40,000, you can decide to just make money off it, and that could just be 2,000 naira. It doesn't have to be 40,000 naira for it. It doesn't even have to be 25,000 naira, because it is now, do you understand what I'm saying? But then you could also have it online. Put it in your WhatsApp status, put them all over, and say, shop for less this Christmas, or something like that. So an item that you bought 40,000, you want to show us it is a, you know, it's a Tom Ford, or it's a whatever name, so that I know the value. So if I see it for 5,000 rather than 40,000, I know it's a good deal, so I can make money off it. So you got value out of this, so cherished. You didn't just give it to someone who won't understand what it is and do away with it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you could have that. I'm going to tell you how I do mine, but then you could have yours go online, talk about it on your WhatsApp story, display the pictures one after the other, put the former price and put the old price. Christmas is coming, so people would like to buy value, and when they see it for less, that's a banger. So how do I do mine? Basically, my kids and I, we select all those items, we launder them actually, and then we put them on all those hangers. You know those metal hangers that come from the laundry? Yes, we put them on all those kind of hangers, and then we just line them outside the gate and get somebody to watch over them. So the ones we want to give out for free, we don't announce it, so that there's not a crowd that is not expected. But then as people are passing, they see that it's a shop for less deal. So something really nice that they probably could have gotten for, let's give an example of, say, 10,000 naira. They're able to buy it for 1.5. It still looks good. They can use it. Christmas is around the corner. They pick it up. And before you know it, for something I thought I was just going to give out to somebody and make no money from it, or throw it away because my kids are bigger than it, or I've overgrown it, then I'm making 50K, 100,000 naira And whether you like it or not, that's good money. I could buy a good perfume with that. I could buy one hair with that. Now, about the books, sometimes it may be very difficult, but then you can also sell books. There are some people who buy books just to, I mean, some foundations who buy to be able to give to, the people that they serve. So sometimes you can actually give it out voluntarily. So that is where you do this Christmas as a blesser. So you're blessing some NGOs or some orphanages with books that they could have their children read, because some of them are not going to school. So you want to put a smile on some of their faces by just giving them out. I know you paid for it, just like we all paid for the books in the tree, but packing them up in one corner of your home, or some people say they want to save them until the children are grown so that they can show them and stuff. That's so nice and all that, but check it and tell yourself the truth. What's it causing you? Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? If it is, then give it out so that somebody can be blessed by what your child had an opportunity to be blessed with. For plastic plates, the mugs and all, please take them out. I mean, you really can't sell those. Just remove it. Yeah, please. Just please remove it. You can keep some of them. I've met some people who say, "Oh, I keep it so that my maids could use that one." Maybe trying to put a separation between what they use and what. I don't know. So I'm not going to go into all that. But then if that's what you do, then how many maids do you have? It doesn't have to be so much. So keep what you need and take out what you don't need so that your space can serve you the energy you deserve. Okay, so take those out, trays, burial trays and stuff like that. Just take them out. And then your wedding gifts, we could also make money from them. You could sell them for less. So imagine you selling a microwave that you haven't opened that probably should be like 150,000 and you're selling it for 70,000. Now, you could insist and say, I've not used it. It's new, and this and that. I can as well just go to a shop and go and get it to be sure that you haven't used it, So because it's been lying in your house for the past 1 year, you could sell it for less and make money from it. And don't feel bad about it. It's yours now. They bought it for you. You're not going to use it, then sell it. But if you want to keep it because as backup, then like I said, ensure that it is not doing you harm, okay? So that we can do. Blenders, things that are spoiled, not repaired. If you want to repair them, go repair them and get them to sell. Yes, they can sell as well. Or you want to just have one as backup, great, but it has to serve you and not causing you harm. What do you do with the pictures you have? Memories from old mom, dad, this, that. Now that could also be very nice to have at the artistic corner we're talking about. If you have a space, then you could use a whole room for that. Turn it into a room for, what do you call it now? Something aesthetical. So when you have visitors, you bring them in and just talk about these items piece by piece. Oh, this is my mom, and this. So just make it beautiful. So I step into that room and it's filled with memories, and you could just go around and talk to people about it. Now it's all enclosed in one room. But guess what? They are organized and they serve your visitors. They serve you. You could sit in there and just smile at the wall and smile at something, and it's all just within that space. So now you've been able to create something beautiful out of all these pictures and all these things, but it's just in one corner. You can enjoy them. Your visitors can come and you can enjoy them as well, and it's just beautiful. So you see, you can also turn it into something like that. But if you can do away with them and not have them clutter your space, then go ahead and take them out, okay? If you want to talk with me, we can talk about it, all right? But this is something you can do and still enjoy having them in your space. Lastly, your jewelries, just make a home for them. If there are jewelries you haven't worn for 2 years, when will you buy the clothes now that will fit it? You can give them out, be a blessing to someone, or better still, let's put them up for sale this Christmas. Use your phone, use your WhatsApp stories, use your Instagram. I mean, I mean, you've not been doing anything with it. I know you do 9 to 5, but hey, this is an opportunity for you to make money this Christmas. So let's bring all of them out. If you want help, you want me to help you put all that together, I will. Just call me. Of course, you're going to get my number. Call me and we'll put up a sale this Christmas. We'll turn it into a party. We'll turn it into a get together. Invite your friends, invite family, tell everybody about it, and then let them come and buy quality for less this Christmas. Guess who will be going back smiling? You will go home smiling. You will have a smiling Christmas. Thank you so, so much for coming on board. I am so glad I could do this. I want to do it again and again. So if you need help, please call me and I'll help you through this process of decluttering. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Christmas, an amazing Christmas, a rich Christmas, a money-filled Christmas. All right? Thank you so much. I'd like your feedback from this course. You could just send me a message on WhatsApp or send wherever we contacted for you to be able to do this. Please send me a message. I'd like to hear from you. Thank you.